All right, I have Josh Harvey back on the show now, who's going to be fighting next at XMMA 4 on April the 2nd when he meets Adli Edwards. Josh, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, Brian. How are you?
I'm good. It's nice to talk to you again, and I really cannot wait for this fight, you and Adli. I think it's safe to say that this is the biggest fight of your career on a huge show. I mean, there's so many great fighters, former UFC fighters on this card. First, just tell me, what were your emotions and what was your excitement level like when you got the call that this was going to be your next fight?
When Tyson contacted Primo and the fight was offered, uh, I knew it was going to be a yes for them, but it was already a yes for me before I looked at the opponent at all, just because I'm ready to fight, especially for a promotion like XMMA or just the next level.
Yeah, and obviously you've been doing a lot of your work here for the regional shows, New England fights in particular. Your last fight, you had a round one finish over Aguilendo Brandao. How pleased are you with your performance there in that fight?
I mean, it was a little shorter notice than we wanted for that fight, but nothing in the fight game is perfect. Nothing. It's good to have a plan, but don't expect it to go as planned. So I'm pleased with the finish, though.
Yeah. And as far as just the venue at the Aura, what is your overall takeaway at competing there? Do you like it, or do you wish maybe NEF will go back to a bigger venue like they are in their next coming shows?
My personal favorite place to fight, and I think I've told you this before, is the Colisée in Lewiston. It's just the history of it. You walk in there, it's the cinder blocks, and it feels like you're going to the war. You know what I mean? Or maybe it's because I fought there 12, 13 times. So, the fact that Ali fought there, it's just that's my favorite place. Plus, you can put 3 or 4,000 in the stands easy.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, who knows what the future holds? Maybe the NEF will be back there down the line. I do have to address, I guess, more of a difficult topic. I'm sure it's not one that you want to really dive into too much, but you missed weight your last fight. This one is back down at featherweight. So just tell me, what is your weight at right now, and are you feeling good with where you're at to make 145?
Yeah, we're absolutely going to be on point for 45. Like I said, that fight with Brandao was on shorter notice than we expected for 45, and we were planning for a 55 fight, where we had made 45 in September. People saying that I can't make featherweight like to forget that I had just made it in September for the opponent who showed up to weigh in and then iced me the day of the fight. Which honestly, I had fear again this was going to happen with someone who was, I think he was 9-8. Brandao was prior to us fighting. So how serious he was. A very serious. He turned out to be a good opponent and professional, but I had my doubts that he was even going to show, because the fight before that, and honestly the fight before that, and the fight before that, they have all backed out. So but no, I'll take that on the chin. That was unprofessional of me, and I apologize.
How difficult is it for you to maintain like a weight range to cut to 45? Because I told you before, I mean, you're a big guy. Like it blows my mind that you even can get to 45, but you have in the past. So how hard is it at this stage of your life?
I think it's no harder than most guys walking around in the UFC, 20, 25 over their fight weight. I'm in that same boat. So
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's not undoable.
Have you thought about like down the line in the future, once your career continues to evolve, maybe going to lightweight, or do you feel 145 is where you're just going to be regardless?
I think I'm the king of featherweights, and I'd rather come in and be the king of featherweights than a contender at lightweight.
Okay, very well said.
Yeah.
And I got to ask you about Vision Quest and Primo. It looks like the team is just continuing to grow, man. I see more and more posts all the time, more guys filtering in and out of there. What is the vibe like at the gym?
I mean, if you build it, they will come. And the culture that Primo creates in a room is it's unparalleled to any other the team I've been a part of. So there's nowhere to go but up. I think we're a new gym. opened during COVID, or new to Maine. You know, it's actually, we just celebrated on St. Patty's Day was a 22nd year anniversary, or 21st year anniversary of Vision Quest. So, but it's first year in Maine, and I think it's gonna get bigger and bigger.
Obviously, everyone knows who Ryan Sanders is, but give me some names, some new guys that are coming in there that, you know, maybe the regional fans are going to know about soon.
Well, we've got some guys making debuts on upcoming cards that haven't been announced yet, so I'm not sure if I can. We have some local stud wrestlers, some guys that did jujitsu at other camps around here, some guys that fought for other camps around here, gravitating towards us now. But I don't think it's really my place. It's probably their spot to go ahead and, you know, tell the world that. So,
okay. Well, you don't have to break the news about the fights, but who are the names? What are their names that are going to be fighting soon that, you know, maybe people don't know that haven't fought for NEF before? Is there anyone in particular?
Oh, all right. Yeah, we've got a young Jits kid named Max. We've got a stud wrestler, Julian. It really is, and you know, we've got a street beef star heavyweight. We've got a Forester who has never fought in his life, but I'm telling you, he will be the king of the light heavies in New England really quick. His name's Austin. Remember that one? He is a frost giant, and you know, there's some others, but.
All right.
Off the top of my head.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan Sanders, it goes without saying, has to be your top training partner. I mean, iron sharpens iron. How is Ryan looking these days? And is he even scarier than we saw him last?
I think he's better off this layoff and making the move up to welterweight. He was a huge lightweight. I mean, 6'1", and he really, you know, used to walk close to 190, 95 pounds and make lightweight. So the fact that he's fighting at welterweight now, and he's really filled out that 6'1" frame, you know, in his maturity, and I think he looks better than ever, and he's in a way better headspace than he was before.
Great to hear. Now, has Coach Bellarosa, has he dialed in this training camp? Has it been any different than previous camps for you, getting ready to take on you know, a tough opponent in Adli Edwards?
I mean, you don't prepare for the fight you have, you prepare for the fight you want, and that's Primo's mentality. So every camp is always dialed in. Have we gamed and prepared for Adli? I mean, I think he's the type of fighter I've been preparing for my entire life. He thinks he's better than me everywhere. You know, if he's right, he's going to have an easy night. And if he's wrong, it's not going to be an easy night.
So this obviously is going to be in New Orleans, XMMA 4. When do you guys leave, and who's actually making the trip with you to Louisiana?
Primo, obviously, and Ryan will be cornering me. I've got friends and family that are going to make the trip as well.
How soon do you have to get out there? Like, you have to be out there?
Oh, yeah. I think there's some media stuff on Thursday. I think we're flying on Wednesday, so it'll give me a few days to acclimate before the fight. I've never had a problem flying, and like, people get jet lagged, or I've never had an issue with that. Like going to Russia or going to Europe, it was always, you know, get off the plane, let's go. So.
And, you know, I think a lot of people here in the New England area, Josh, have been waiting for you to take this next step, you know, step up in competition and fight at a bigger promotion. And here you are. Do you feel that nerves? Do you feel pressured for this fight?
I mean, there's nerves before every fight, right? I mean, I think that's half the reason we do it. And you know, if you don't feel the pressure and there's not a hint of fear, you're either stupid or dead. Yeah, but like I said, I always feel some nerves. I think that's half the fun.
Yeah, I interviewed your opponent just a couple of days ago, and I asked him this question, so I want to ask you too. Is there anyone else on this card outside of, you know, your particular fight that you're excited to see? You're excited to see compete, or maybe just me? Because there's a lot of big names.
Oh, what's the I always butcher his name. The Boston boy, Bose. What's his name? How do you say it? Bachniak.
Oh, Kyle Bochniak. Yeah, Kyle Bochniak.
Bachniak.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've always enjoyed watching him fight. It's an honor to be on the same card with Bachniak. 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 I don't know. He's probably I'm most excited to watch him afterwards.
Very cool. And clearly New Orleans is a place where you can have a little bit of fun. Or are you guys planning on going out and having a little bit of fun afterwards, especially if you get a victory, get your hand raised?
I mean, we'll probably make a trek up Bourbon Street, and but then probably right back home, right to camp. My birthday is the following weekend, so I'm not going to get too wild.
Okay. All right, good enough. Well, let's talk specifically about Adli. He and you and him almost have the identical, exact same record. You're 8-1-1, he's 8-1. Break down this matchup for me, Josh. How do you see this fight playing out?
Well, first off, let's be real. I'm 9-1. That Cage Titans thing that happened there. Anyway, how do I see it playing out? Without revealing too much. I don't know. I think it wouldn't take long if you're watching either one of our tapes to figure out what we both do. And, even if, he's got a good corner and, the Irish hand grenade, Marcus Davis in his corner, he knows me personally. We've never trained together or anything, but, he's cornered against me in the past. And, so, if they're preparing for the me that Marcus Davis saw fight when he was up here in New England, well, that's not the same guy that's going to come out, of course. But to break it down, I'm going to implement my game plan, and I don't think he's got the tenacity to stop it. Everyone knew what Khabib was going to come out and do, right? It's being able to stop it. Doesn't matter if you know what's going to happen.
Do you believe that you're going to finish him, or do you feel like this is a fight that could go the distance?
Oh, I'd love to drag him into deep waters and drown him. People are like, Josh gets it done in the first round. We've never seen him tested. We've never seen him hurt. Well, why would I want you to? Why would I want to go and if I can take you out in the first round? Why am I taking more risk going into later rounds and taking more damage? You get someone out of there in the first round, and then I'm ready to go in 2 weeks again.
So do you believe that you're getting a finish here? Like, what's your prediction? How do you see yourself getting your hand raised?
My hand's going to be raised one way or the other. I'm not going to predict a finish, but
okay.
I mean, to look at stats, he said he was going to standing KO me or something. You look at our stats, and I don't think he's ever done that to anybody. And I've proven to have, one punch knockout power and finishes on the ground as well. So we'll see.
What does a win here on this show at XMMA 4 over Adli Edwards, what does this do for you? Where does it put you? Do you feel like you're a shoe-in for a contender series fight, or maybe straight into the UFC or Bellator? Like, what are you hoping is next?
I mean, I would take a contender series or a UFC short notice replacement, or if XMMA would have me back on their next card, that'd be great too.
All right. And you're looking to stay active. You want to stay as active as possible and rack up some wins here in 2022.
Absolutely. This, the pandemic kind of shut us down for a year and a half, almost 2 years and no fights. We had offers, we had fights lined up out West, and it would always fizzle. So it would be nice to have, what do you get? 3 or 4 fights a year. So you think you had two years off. Even if I got 2 fights, that puts me 4 or 5 fights behind where I should be at this point in my career. I should have 4 or 5 more fights.
All right, man. I can't wait for this one. Again, April 2nd, XMMA 4, Josh Harvey meets Adli Edwards. If you can't be in New Orleans, Louisiana for the fight night, you can watch it on YouTube. So nobody should be missing this one. It's a fantastic card in general. And Josh, it's always great talking to you, my man. Before I do let you go, I want to give you the floor. Tell people where they can follow you on social media. If you have anyone to thank, any sponsors, the floor is yours.
All right. You can follow me Hook on Harvey on all social media platforms. There you can check out my wonderful sponsors and all their products and services, including Paul's Auto here in Dexter, Maine, where I'm currently sitting.